Today on the channel, the best of 2024 countdowns continue. In today's video, we got one of the biggest ones of the year. Today, we're counting down my top 10 WWE Elites of 2024.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another best of 2024 countdown video. In today's video, we're counting down the top 10 WWE Mattel Elites of 2024. Now, we did do a video of top 10 sleeper elites. You could almost call them 11 through 20, I guess, if you really want to. But 10 figures that really were sleepers this year, I did feel. However, now we're getting down to the nuts and bolts of everything. We're counting down my top 10 favorite elite figures of 2024. Another amazing year for Mattel in the elite lines. Of course, you had your traditional elite line. We had greatest hits. We had From the Vault. We had the Monday Night Wars. We, of course, had the Legends from Target. We had ringside exclusives. A lot of product. Outside of Todd McFarlane on the couch, sitting right over there, I don't know of any company that put out more toys this year than the Mattel lines. Between Ultimates, main events, main event 2-packs, exclusives, of course, elites, and the Ultimates, I think I already said that. A lot of product from Mattel, so easily one of the hardest top 10 lists to put together here. And of course, I always say this in every single video, and a lot of people don't understand it, but I'm going to say it again, I guess. This is my top 10 list. I want you to put your top 10 list in the comments down below, because this is my list. It can't be wrong. That's the way it goes. And guess what? Your list cannot be wrong either if you put it in the comments. But if you say, why wasn't Gigi Dolan on this list? I'll say, well, she didn't get an elite this year, so that's why she's not on the list. But I always get some of that, but people can say all they want, but if they don't put their own list down there, you're really missing out on a lot of fun. That's what I do think. But of course, we're going to start this off at number 10, work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my favorite elite of 2024. And some amazing, amazing figures this year, as I was saying. A little bit more Legends heavy this year than maybe some of the other prior years. And a lot of that is because of the iconic looks, the nostalgia for some of these Legends, the long wanting of some of these Legends, where nothing against Trick Williams, a fabulous figure this year. Didn't quite make my top 10 list, but an amazing figure. It's just not one of those figures I was longing for, like some of the other ones maybe on this list. So there's a lot of reasons the lists come together, but that's why it is my list at the end of the day. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 10. The list begins at number 10, and number 10, we go to one of the lines I just mentioned, the Greatest Hits line. Now, the Greatest Hits line, some ups and some downs. Some figures didn't really need to be re-released. Some really did, but one thing I've said in all the reviews is I love it when Mattel makes them feel as different as possible. Now, they're all going to be a little bit different because of the interchangeable hands on most of them. However, this is the one that really stood tall above the rest. So tall, in fact, he ended up landing in the top 10 list at number 10. Who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a good friend of the channel. We're talking about old Cody Rhodes right here. Cody Rhodes' Greatest Hits coming in at number 10. Now, a fabulous figure way back when. Even better now. And of course, we unboxed this on the channel, and you guys know the older version, Stained City. It's like an AEW Jazzwares figure, but worse. That's what we're going to call that one. Stained all over from that terrible jacket on there. This Greatest Hits one, they improved the jacket. They made it more accurate. They made it so much better here. Added so much to this figure. Of course, you get the paper bag accessory, which was always fun. You get the face mask going on there. I love the face mask for Cody. Just a fabulous Cody in a sea of Codys in 2024. This one stood out because it felt different. It looked different. I'm not just talking about his hair color. So very, very fun. This is Greatest Hits done right, and that's why it comes in at number 10 in the top 10 list. All right, next up, number 9. And for number 9 selection, we take a trip to Walmart. Ugly this time of year, just ugly around the holidays. But the number 9 figure does come from the Elite Monday Night Wars line. This is a figure I always wanted that wasn't really sure we would ever get. And what makes this figure so much better is it is a 2-in-1. I'm a sucker for a 2-in-1 figure, and that's what we got here today. Coming in at number 9, we got Mr. Perfect, a.k.a. Kurt Hennig, West Texas Rednecks 2-1. And I'm just an outlaw at the end of the day. And of course, old Curt Hennig, he loves himself some Waylon, Willie, and the boys as well. Love, love, love the Texas Rednecks back in the day. One of those heel factions that ended up getting over, if you can imagine. Very, very popular. Of course, in the South, of course, a lot of good old boys down south. They loved the West Texas Rednecks, and the whole nation did as well. So love this incarnation of Mr. Perfect. You throw a guitar with a figure, you know you're playing a lot of hits here. So very, very fun. I would love to see the rest of the group. Not sure we're ever going to get that, unfortunately, but man, oh man, a fun, fun figure. However, it is a 2-1, so maybe you didn't like the West Texas Rednecks for whatever. Maybe you're a no-limit soldier out there. You could be. But everybody, of course, loves the NWO, don't they? Well, NWO Curt Hennig here is the other option you have. So a 2-1 figure, so much more playability, so much more fun, and really making people like me buy 2 of this figure. Man, oh man, that speaks to how good this one is. So coming in at number 9, Mr. Perfect, a.k.a. Curt Hennig, Monday Night Wars. Feeling great at number 8 as the countdown continues here, and this one feels like one that's been lost in the shuffle of 2024 for a lot of people. This was on my early halfway countdown of best elites so far list, and this one did stay. It stuck the landing in the top 10. A very fun figure of a maybe forgotten era of this performer in a lot of ways, but I love it when Mattel gives us these more deep cut characters. Who am I talking about at number 8? Well, we're going to Target. We're going to the Legends line. We're going to the Sultan. Of course, Rikishi here. Just a fabulous, fabulous looking figure. Love a cape. You know me, I'm a sucker for a cape. You get a cape with him. You get the headdress going on. You get a lot of new design around this one. Only thing it's missing for me is a little Bob Backlund manager. Would love to see Bob Backlund as a Build-A-Figure or even a suited main event if we have to, if they still have the rights to Bob Backlund. That would be a very easy layup, I do feel. But love, love, love this Sultan figure. Very, very cool figure that I don't think gets the props it does deserve. And it comes in pretty high for most people, I would imagine. Coming in here at number 8 in my top 10 best of year-end list. All right, next up, we're at the number 7 spot in the countdown, and this time we go to another re-release. However, once again, much like the Cody at number 10, the number 7 selection had a re-release, and man, oh man, did Mattel make this one better. This time we go to Target, we go to the Legends Greatest Hits, we go to the Ultimate Warrior. Obviously, I'm an Ultimate Warrior guy. My favorite wrestler of all time. Him and Terry Funk, my 2 favorites. Obviously, yin and yangs of performance in wrestling. But man, if you were there during the Power of the Warrior, you get it. But this figure, always a powerful one for me, as this one, it was one of the ones that brought me back into collecting action figures many, many moons ago. So this Warrior always had a special place in my heart. But man, it got a lot more special here in 2024 as Target re-released this one with the updated hot dog tan. It makes such a difference on a lot of figures, but no more so than this figure. This figure, by having the tan skin tone, makes it 100 times better. Yes, 100 times better than the last release. Of course, you add the pinless joints, the removable hands on this one. You're playing all the hits. An absolute fabulous Ultimate Warrior. Definitely worth a pickup if you haven't picked this one up yet. Ultimate Warrior Target Legends Greatest Hits comes in number 7. All right, we're at the number 6 spot of the countdown here. We're feeling a little deja vu from number 7. Number 6, we go to Walmart again. Monday Night Wars. We go to the Ultimate Warrior WCW Edition. So cool to get a late in the career Ultimate Warrior, a WCW Ultimate Warrior, and something that really feels different for the Ultimate Warrior, as we've got a lot of Ultimate Warriors over the years, of course. Now, originally earmarked part of the Nitro stage in the Ultimate Edition line, this officially released here, of course, in the Elite Monday Night Wars line. I'm happy it found a home, be it Ultimate or Elite, as I want every era of the Warrior, there's no doubt. And obviously not his best part of his career. I think we can all agree on that. A lot of politics in the background, as we do know. But man, oh man, the duster jacket looking amazing, the interchangeable hands, the beautiful head sculpt on this one. A lot to like about this Ultimate Warrior. A few of us did get a little bit of a giraffe neck one. It looks like that was maybe a running change. They did fix that. I did get a mint-on-card copy of this that is absolutely breathtaking because it doesn't have quite the giraffe neck. But man, oh man, do I love this Ultimate Warrior figure. So much so, in fact, he comes in at number 6 in the top 10 list. We've hit the halfway point of the countdown. You got your list together? Of course, as usual, put it in the comments down below. Put it in order. That's the hard part, but that is the fun part. And make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Tons and tons of best of countdown videos as we're counting down the best of action figures in 2024 from so many lines. And of course, the winners of every single one of these videos will go into the ultimate countdown to find out the best figure of 2024. So make sure you do subscribe. And while you're here, tons of other stuff. Also check out my collection tour just released here on the channel. Check that out if you did miss it. But here we are at number 5, the halfway point. And once again, we go to a 2-in-1 figure. I'm a sucker for a 2-in-1 figure. I'm a sucker for a legend. I'm a sucker for a very cool figure. And that's what we got here at number 5. We got Terry Bam Bam Gordy or the Executioner, depending how you want to play that one. Now, this was an interesting one too because the packaging gave us a little Easter egg to the UWF title, which later came with Big Bubba Rogers. Obviously, I got the Big Bubba Rogers regular and Chase edition, took one of the belts off of him, gave one to Terry Gordy. So you can easily do that yourself as well. Very easy to do when the Big Boss Man figure or Big Bubba Rogers figure went down to $689. I did pick up some extras at that price just for extra belts. So very, very cool Terry Gordy figure. Of course, Freebirds running wild, running free, running fast as well. You pair this up with your Michael P.S. Hayes Walmart exclusive from a couple of years ago. Hopefully we can get a Jimmy Jam Garvin and Buddy Roberts to really complete the Freebirds. That is a goal in 2025 for me. Should be a goal for Mattel, hopefully. But then you get the Executioner with this one, which is very, very cool. Once again, a very cool deep cut here, but you put him with Paul Bearer, Mankind, The Undertaker. A very, very cool idea. And we haven't had an Executioner figure since way back in the day from Jakks. So very cool, a 2-in-1. I knew from the get-go I had to pick up 2 of these bad boys, and they do not disappoint. So the Executioner, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, coming in at number 5. Here we are at number 4, the number 4 best elite of 2024 as voted by me. And number 4, once again, we take a journey to Target, a lot nicer than Walmart. I think we can all agree on that. But we're headed over to Target for an amazing figure that we got here in 2024. Have to imagine we'll get another one sometime in 2025. Wouldn't be shocked to see him possibly in the Coliseum collection in the future. Who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the Captain. We're talking about Captain Lou Albano. Just absolutely breathtaking. An amazing, amazing figure. Very cool to get managers, especially classic managers from the 80s. Doesn't feel like we get enough of those from the Mattel Elite line, so they finally got Captain Lou available and just made this one absolutely awesome. Love pairing this up with the British Bulldogs, of course, using the Cella Dynamite Kid with my Davey Boy Smith. Just a fabulous figure. You got the hard good vest, plastic vest over the top of a soft good shirt. It comes with that record around the Cyndi Lauper experience. The extra hands add so much personality. And this is a figure so nice, I bought it twice, as I did pick this one up, and I bought 2 of his WWE Superstars figure, once again a Walmart exclusive. I picked that one up, and I switched the outfits between the 2. So I got one dressed like this in the Superstars, and now I have one dressed like this in the Elite. Some easy fix-up customs you can do. Pair this one with the Head Shrinkers, pair this one with the British Bulldogs, and you're just eating good in the Captain Lou Albano era. Now if we can just get the Super Mario Captain Lou, all will be right from the world. But we'll be interested to see where we go in the new year with guys like Captain Lou Albano. But man, this Captain Lou Target, a sleeper if there ever was one, a figure so nice, came in at number 4 in my year-end best of countdown. Man, oh man, getting closer and closer to the top spot. We're down to the final 3. And for the number 3 selection, we go to a character that was before my time. When I first came into wrestling, he was doing a little bit of announcing. But man, oh man, he stole my heart and never let go during the Jakks era. Of course, Classic Superstars. Cheap plug for my book came out this year on the Jakks Classic Superstars series. But this one, he had so many figures in the classics, had a bunch of Toys R Us releases, came out with an autobiography around that time, and a WWE DVD. So I got to really learn about the history of this guy. And who are we talking about here at number 3? We're talking about Superstar Billy Graham, a guy that is so ahead of his time. All the muscle-bound guys of the 80s WWF, they owe a debt of gratitude to Superstar Billy Graham. For good or for bad, way ahead of his time back there in the 70s. Of course, a former champion, as we do know. And just an amazing, amazing figure. Getting the use for those Scott Steiner arms, the tie-dye going on. Just an amazing looking superstar Billy Graham. And I'm a guy that loves current day wrestling, and I love classic wrestling way before my time. And I love seeing things like this that maybe we never thought we would get from Mattel. I mean, we're always going to get a Cody Rhodes all the time, but how often are we going to really get a superstar Billy Graham? Well, so far in the 15 years of Mattel, we've got 2 different ones. So not very often. So when you get them, especially one that is this good with the tie-dye, the first time ever for this belt, there is a lot of meat on the bone right here. So much meat, in fact, he comes in at number 3. Down to the wire, we're at the number 2 best elite of 2024 as voted by me. And this one has a lot in common with the last one we just talked about, being superstar Billy Graham, as this one was in the same pack as him. Another Hall of Famer, another character we've got in his King persona, but now we're getting the actual one that most people probably remember Harley Race for. It is Mr. Best in Sports Edition. It is, of course, Harley Race, NWA champion with beautiful NWA title belt. Now, we got this figure from the Jakks Class Superstars line many moons ago. Very cool to see a modern update on this one with his classic robe. He's ready to go into the cage to face Flair at Starrcade. Just everything you would want in this incarnation of Harley Race wrapped up into action figure form. And like I said, I love the legends, I love the history, I love stuff that was before my time, and I love the current stuff, but there's no doubt this Harley couldn't be on my list with that title belt, the beautiful robe, and an amazing head scan. An amazing head scan for him. Just a lot of hits being played with this Harley Race. So many hits, in fact, he came all the way up to number 2 in my top 10 year-end list, which means there can only be one. What is the number 1 elite of 2024 as voted by me? Well, stay tuned. The time has come. The time is now. We're at the number 1 elite figure of 2024. Put your list in the comments down below. Put them in order. That is the hard part. That is the fun part, of course. I can't take your list seriously if you just say it's this one guy is the best one of the year. You just can't do that. We got to have the whole list. So try your best, try your hardest, put the pen to paper, figure it out. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. But here we are at number 1. And this one is a little hard for me to stomach because I'm not a huge fan of this guy. This guy was never a fan. I was never a fan of growing up. A lot of people are. Some would say he's the most popular wrestler of all time. It's to be argued, of course. But a lot of people, they think of wrestling, they think of this performer. I grew up in the heyday of this performer. And like I said, not a fan of mine. However, this year, he was celebrated. It was the 40 years of Hulkamania this year, so I could let a lot of stuff slide with all these Hulk Hogan figures coming out. I said, you know what? It's the 40th anniversary. Let's get it all out of our system. Let's get all these looks out of here. However, one look stood tall above all the others, and this one I could not believe how much I liked from the get-go. When this was first announced, I was knocked over. You could have knocked me over with a feather. That's how good this one was. What are we talking about, number 1? We're going to Target. We're going to the Legends line. We're going to Hulkamania, real American Hulk Hogan with guitar. Once again, I'm a sucker for a guy with a guitar. But this is such a cool deep cut. I was absolutely blown away. First off, a fabulous Hulk Hogan figure, even without the guitar. Love the head sculpt, love the glasses. Of course, you got the chain, brother. You got to have that. You got the Hulkamania shirt. You got the beautiful pants down to the cowboy boots. Throw that guitar on top of that. An all-timer of a figure if there ever was one. And this is coming from a non-Hulkamania guy. I am a Warrior. But look at this. Hulk Hogan transcends my fandom all the way to the number 1 spot here with this one. And honestly, a lot of people like the Shawn Michaels Ultimate Edition for San Diego Comic-Con. I don't even really count it as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive because it wasn't available at San Diego Comic-Con. However, I think this would have been the best San Diego Comic-Con. It's the middle of the summer, still coming off of 4th of July. It's 40 years of Hulkamania. They probably should have made this one as an Ultimate. You could have had maybe him in a cardboard car, something like that. There's a lot you could have done around the music video. I feel like this should have been the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That's neither here nor there. I know a lot of people like that Shawn Michaels, and I get it. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. But man, oh man, this figure, absolutely fantastic. Could not believe how much I like this. One of those figures I didn't know I needed until the day actually happened. So man, oh man, absolutely amazing. Hulk Hogan, Target, Legends exclusive, Real American Edition, comes in at number 1. So there it is, my top 10 elite list for 2024. One of the most difficult lists I've ever had to put together, in all honesty. A very tough list. Can't wait to see what 2025 brings. Hopefully constant learning, hopefully constant improvement, hopefully factory issues are a thing of the past and we get back to just enjoying the figures. Hopefully we get new legends, new lines, new accessories, new play sets, new everything under the sun. It'll be a wild ride and we'll be here for it on this very YouTube channel. So make sure you do subscribe. Of course, as I always do say, subscribe to my other YouTube channel. We got videos every single day between both channels. Maybe some new surprises in 2025. You better hang in there. And of course, Patreon, early access, early exclusives to everything from both channels. You get monthly Q&As, giveaways, tons of stuff to keep you busy on the Patreon. And Patreon, best way to support this channel and all the content it does bring. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. My book, I mentioned it earlier, the Jakks Classic Superstar Series, the complete guide, just shy of 700 pages there for everybody, now available on Kindle as well as soft and hardcover edition. You can find me on TikTok now. You can also find me at SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for the best elites of 2024, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.